Joe Root scores century as England rack up the runs on day 3 to eat into New Zealand's lead in second test. England score 383 runs in stunning day's play, closing on 473-5, with Joe Root still unbeaten on 163. Ollie Pope, 145, scores his second test century. Watch day 4 of the second test at Trent Bridge from 10:15 a.m. Monday, Sky Sports Cricket. Joe Root struck a magnificent, unbeaten 163 as England batted New Zealand into the dirt, reducing the visiting side's lead to 80 by stumps on day 3 of the second LV= insurance test at Trent Bridge. Root's ton, his 27th in Test cricket and quickest, came up off 116 balls, while Ollie Pope, 145, too went through to 3 figures, notching his highest score in Test cricket and first batting at number 3. Sponsored link. Picks. Always put a plastic bottle on your tires when parked. Here's why. Cleverst. Recommended by Alex Lees, 67. Also impressed, but the opener will be disappointed after not cashing in further on a flat deck following his maiden test 50, and Ben Stokes blasted 46 off 33 balls laid on as England closed on 473-5 in their first innings. England vs New Zealand first test, day 3 highlights. Scorecard. England vs New Zealand, second test. Day 3 at Trent Bridge, as it happened. Root and Pope's superb 187-run partnership was no doubt the highlight of the day, with New Zealand's wearied attack particularly put to the sword in an afternoon session that yielded 136 of those runs in only 28 overs. Pope had been overshadowed somewhat in the morning, starved of the strike as he added only 33 to his overnight score from the 104 total runs made before lunch. Lees peppered the cover boundary with regularity to race though to his half-century, before a change in angle. Matt Henry, 1-128, from over the wicket brought the edge through to Daryl Mitchell at first slip, who this time made no mistake after putting down 2 on Saturday. Root, coming to the crease with 100 runs on the board for only the 3rd time in his last 45 innings, got off the mark with a clipped 2 first ball in. Then fired the first of his 25 boundaries through the covers not long after, a sumptuous drive that was to be a feature of his fine innings. Root served up one half chance when on 27 in the last over before lunch, flashing an attempted cut-off Trent Bolt through the hands of Tim Southee at second slip, who, despite his 6-foot frame, could only parry it down to the third-man fence for 4. Aggressive England upped the ante in afternoon session. England then piled on the runs after the interval, the first of which came courtesy of overthrows and a reckless, unnecessary shy at the stumps by Michael Bracewell, which beat the fielder backing up to run away for 4s. It earned Pope 5 runs, which he swiftly added to with a couple more boundaries off his own bat, before bringing up his second test 100 with a drop and run into the covers for 2, Root sprinting 40 yards to his partner to celebrate the milestone. Root, meanwhile, raced through to a 56-ball 50 in the following over as 33 runs were plundered from the first 5 overs of the session, which then became 58 from the first 10 as Root and Pope brought up their century stand. The runs continued to come thick and fast, with Root somewhat sheepishly celebrating back-to-back hundreds, and a 4th and 5 tests, with arguably his ugliest shot of the day, a wild hack outside off that took his inside edge and scooted clear of his stumps and down to the fine leg fence. Stokes comes out swinging in dazzling cameo. New Zealand claimed the second new ball just before tea, and it brought them a couple of quick breakthroughs after the interval as Pope top-edged an attempted pull-off bolt, 3-89, down to fine leg. The Surrey batter perhaps distracted after a brief delay to change one of his pads, and Johnny Bairstow, 8, was shown to have gloved the left arm quick behind on review. Stokes swiftly signaled his intent, getting off the mark with 4 tucked off his hip, while it was not long before he was charging out of his crease to swat Southee, 0-119, straight back down the ground for 4 more. Back-to-back boundaries soon followed off Bolt, while the first of 2 sixes from Stokes' entertaining cameo came when launching Kyle Jamieson, 0-66. Straight back over his head and into the stands. His second maximum was another glorious straight hit, this time off the spinner Bracewell, 1-48, but Stokes then holed out next ball when looking to clear the ropes again, this time targeting deep mid-wicket but succeeding only in picking out Bolt on the boundary. Ben Foakes, 24-no, came in and picked up where he and Root left off at Lord's, the pair playing nicely in an unbroken 68-run stand, although Foakes should have departed for 9, dropped at deep square leg off Southey, New Zealand's 4th error in the field to go with England's 5. The Black Caps were dealt a further blow when Jamieson left the field late on, experiencing sharp pain in his lower left back while bowling. Root, meanwhile, continued in his merry way, sweetly timing a few more to the fence to pass 150 in tests for the 13th time in his career. Stats of the day. 1 Pope's century was his first-class 100 north of the River Thames, with his other test century coming at Port Elizabeth and 9 of his previous 13. Tons scored for Surrey at the Oval, the Ageas Bowl, Guildford, Dubai home to the others. Twitter. Due to your consent preferences, you're not able to view this. Privacy options. 3 Root's arrival at the crease represented only the 3rd time in his last 45 test innings where England's score was beyond 100. 116 balls for Root's fastest century in Test cricket, beating the 118 deliveries for his previous best, made against Australia in the 2015 Ashes at Cardiff. 85.55 Root averages more at Trent Bridge than any other home venue where he's played at least 2 tests, with his latest ton his 4th to go with 2 50s in his 11 innings at the venue. Watch Day 4 of the second LV= insurance test between England and New Zealand, at Trent Bridge, live on Sky Sports Cricket from 10:15 a.m. on Monday.